Welcome everyone, today we have a special guide for Diablo 4. Now looking behind me, this is a screenshot provided to me by one of our viewers. You can see here he has over 353 million gold, and in this video we'll have a look at his secret and also methods of how to making this much gold every day and in a few hours. So this is quite incredible. So what I did over here is I have summarized all the method and also tips and also ways he taught me, and there's a lot of ways you can be doing. So there's the basic way, this method you can be doing after level 73, there's also more method you can be doing after level 73, and then finally there's method you can be doing after level 90 and also after level 100. So there are multiple ways of doing this, and you should be doing those, and if you're aware of this, you can be making so much more gold than usual. So coming over to notes over here. We'll break this video down into several parts. So let's talk about the first part where we look at the basic ways. It is very straightforward as you play the game because you'll be playing, farming for monsters and doing different things. No matter what you do, you'll be looting items and also selling items. So we have talked about this previously in our previous video on the last part. You want to be a little more selective as you pick up different items. It is the best that we pick up weapons that will be selling for more gold, and also secret gears weapons will be selling for more gold, even compared to ancestral gears. That's not weapon, right? And yes, we'll be picking up more weapons to be selling gold. And if you guys are using our experience cave with the ruins farming, it is a really good method, and you'll be getting so many bags full of items. And this way you can be more selective and pick up more secret weapons and also more items. So here I'll show you guys one of the replays we had during the live stream. I'll be streaming very soon, and if you want to say hi and come over, you can join me. You can see my bag gets full super fast, and I try to be a little more selective as I farm monsters. And there's packs of monsters to be farmed in this cave. So for me, I get a bag full of items every 2 runs, and this allows me to get so many items to be able to sell for so much gold. So you can see my bag gets full very quickly, and most of the items I'll be picking up will be ancestral items and also secret greater weapon. And this allows me to sell my bag full of item for pretty hefty amount of gold. So by my estimation, after getting full bag of items, I'm selling those items for about 2.5 million to 3.5 million with a full bag of items. So how it works is, if you come over to my inventory, you can see some of the weapons will be selling for over 20,000. Other weapons, even if they're secret greater items, and if they're two-handed or one-handed weapon, they sell anywhere from 20,000 to, about 30,000. So this is really good if you start picking up weapons. If you were picking up boots and also gloves, they don't sell for that much, so keep that in mind. Now I know a lot of players have the tendency and also habits of chucking items on the ground and not picking them up, so I don't recommend doing that. This will take you about 1 to 2 more minutes than usual, but if you do this correctly, you'll be making about 5 million to 10 million gold every hour. So it's very important to be selective when picking up items and also start selling items. Now skipping ahead a little bit, you might be wondering, hey, aren't we going to salvage items, and why don't we salvage rare items? Well, one of the ways we're not salvaging rare items is that you can see, I'm sure you have seen a lot of streamers, you actually get a lot of rare items. I have over 3,000 veiled crystals, because monsters in the in-game, they will be dropping those to you. And because of this, you get so many of those, you don't need to salvage items, you can be selling the golden rare items. Now this, of course, is a different case for the legendaries, which we'll talk about very soon, because you still want to be salvaging legendary items for the future crafting. Now that we briefly talked about the first part, let's come over to the second part, which is definitely more advanced method. So this is what my viewer was telling me. So this is the screenshot that the viewer wanted to be more confidential. He doesn't want to share his name, but this is what he showed me, and this is what he told me. This is what he was doing, before he reached the end game. So one of the ways you can be doing this after level 73 is that you could be selling World 4 farming runs. So if you have a look over here, we're back to the replays of me in the live stream. We're still farming the ruins on this dungeon. If you haven't seen that, we do have a video guide and have the links available to show you guys the location. So what players are doing is, notice that we can have a party of 4 players. Some of the players were actually doing this to new players, and this is actually very beneficial for both parties. So 2 of the players will be the carry that kills all the monsters, while 2 other players will be buying a service to join the run to get lots of loot, and also to be paying the other 2 players for the service of clearing the dungeons in about 1 to 2 minutes. Now you might be thinking, hey, isn't this really mean to the new players, and why don't you just help them for free? Well, it does take the two players a little more time because they're killing the monsters by themselves, right? And having two additional players, this is actually really good to the two newer players who are under level, maybe level 50, level 60, or even level 70. So what is going to happen is, let me give you guys a breakdown. Usually after 10 rounds, the players will have 5 bags full of items. They can then sell those items for anywhere from 2.5 million to 3.5 million gold. And this allows the player who buy the service to sell those items to earn enough gold to pay for the service. So this is actually a self-funding method for players who are looking for a stronger party and who are currently looking for a level up. And you can be actively looking for this. You can be paying other players 2 million gold or 2.5 million gold for 10 rounds because you know you'll be making those gold back as you run this. And this is incredible because for new players, you'll be getting way much more upgrade and also way much more gears. And for the more experienced and more stronger players, you'll be making more gold because of this. Now, just to take this one step further, I have heard some of the viewers have started offering a free service to take players from World 3 to World 4 by doing the World 3 capstone carries for players for free. And after that, once a player gets to World 4, usually they're a little underleveled and it's very challenging to play in World 4. And then they will be selling this service by charging about 2.5 to 2 million gold per 10 rounds. So they know that the players will make this gold back and they will be helping this player to be farming at World 4. So both parties are really happy and it's beneficial for both players. So this way, everyone wins. The new players will get in tons of loot that is ancestral gear and that's going to be way high in level and massive upgrades. And on top of that, the new players will be getting so much more experience from World 4 and also the higher level monsters. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed, it is a really good time to do so, because I'll be covering tons of Diablo 4 related topics and also videos and also guides. We'll be looking to the top meta builds, non-meta builds, leveling up, and also Paragon tricks. We're also looking to the latest events and also official updates, and also changes to different characters and also different builds in the game. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn the notification on, because a lot of you who are watching the videos have not subscribed. You can see 80% of the viewers who are watching our videos have not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for the latest update for Diablo 4. Now coming over to a third method after level 73, and this is what a lot of my viewers and also clan members are doing as well, and myself I was a little lazy to do it. So there's two things you want to look out for. The first one we have talked about in the previous videos. You want to be looking out for vendors for sellable good rare items. Now, it might not seem to be like sometimes the item might not work for your class or your build, but sometimes this can work for other classes and also other builds. And coming back to my game, as a brief summary, if you haven't seen it in our previous video, you come to the vendor every hour if you can, just have a quick glance. You're looking for the item level that is beyond 800. So here I'm looking at 746, I don't need that. So one quick glance, nothing there, I go to the next store. And this is so simple, it takes you about 10 seconds and you can be making 5 million extra gold. And this is incredible. So this is 763, this is 793. So what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at the item power of those items that is in the vendor. And I will be checking this every hour as I'm farming. Now one of the biggest jackpot you can look for are the rings. Even sometimes when you're looking at the rings and they're not correct fully, like this one. This one has maximum fury, close reach damage, and also critical chance. And this only sells for 500,000. I might be buying this one. I'm actually serious, guys. If I'm going with a hotter build, this is actually not bad. If I can roll into critical chance, it's good. I'll buy it. Yep. So notice that even though this is not ancestral gear, this one can be rolled into certain stats and also certain build that can be very powerful for other builds. Now, as a brief reference, over here, some of the best common stats for any of the build is going to be critical rate, critical damage, and also vulnerability damage. Almost all the class, all the build will be wanting this one. So if you get those top 3 rows or any of the rings, and you can be buying those, and the players who buy the item off you can be rerolling this one. Or you can be keeping this item for your future class or keeping it for yourself. Now, some of the other roles can be range damage, close damage, slow damage, and also maximum fury if you're going with a hotter barbarian, which I'm thinking of trying in the end game to one-shot bosses. So this is why I actually bought this ring, and I'll be planning to try this myself or maybe selling this one for at least 1 to 2 million gold. So yes guys, as you guys have noticed, rings are a big massive source of income if you're checking for those items, and so are the weapons and also necklace. Now my friend who was using this method, who is more diligent and more checking, and he made about 5 million gold and also 9 million gold just by buying rings and also accessories and also amulets. And it really takes him 10 seconds to check. Sometimes I was too lazy. And when I make this video, I realized we need to share this to everyone so you can be making more gold. Now we also have an example over here to show you a really good ring. Even though this is not an engine ring, a clientmate of mine is planning to sell this ring for 5 million gold. So you can see this have a critical chance, critical damage, and also this has vulnerability. You can be rolling maximum life into something else, and this can be universal for most classes. Now notice that he got this ring at level 100, so this is a little harder for players, but my ring, so if I bought my ring, I got this one at level 89. So the lower the levels is, the better the items. Because if you're selling, you want to cater for players who are lower level. Now of course, the bigger question is, hey Matt, where do I sell those items? We do have a Discord channel, and I want to say a big thank you for Aka for helping us create such a wonderful channel. And as we grow, if you guys want to volunteer to become a mod and help us to build the channel, it is really welcome. Because I don't have those experience and knowledge, I just like to share ideas and share guides with you guys. So what you can notice in this channel is there's looking for groups, looking for parties, helping players grind, helping players look for parties for experience, and also renoms. I do think that one's nerfed. We'll talk about that in the future. But if you come over to the build specific, you can see there's barbarian trading, there's sources trading, there's different type of class trading, and you can be trading your items, maybe item for item or item for gold. We do not promote cash selling of items, so be aware guys. So we don't recommend trading items for money, and it's not recommended on the channel. And yes, you can see the ring I was talking about. You can see my claimant is selling this ring. And if you guys are interested, hit him a shot and let him know if you want to buy the ring off him. I think it's still pretty decent, but the downside is you need level 100. And you can scroll through to see the items that are selling. And if you're interested, there's some really nice items to be buying or selling. Now sometimes when you guys find a really good item, you might be selling this item for a large sum of gold. I do want to make a warning message over here. You might have seen a previous video about the ban wave, so be a little careful guys. Even though we're playing the game safely and also legit, the other player you're playing may be a gold buyer, or maybe they got the gold somewhere not dodgily, right? So if you're selling an item that is going to cost over 10 million gold, make sure you have some screenshots, some proof that you're actually trading the items for gold. You're not here to do cash selling or something that may get you banned. So be a little careful on this side if you're trading for large sums of gold. And finally guys, you can be selling legendaries for gold, but I don't recommend. It is best to save those items or salvage them for the future crafting. Now coming over to the last part. This part is a little more difficult for most of us because we're not at the end game yet. So what my viewer was saying is, one of the biggest source of gold income for him after getting to level 100 is that him and his friends were selling services to the Uber Lilith run. And they have a really good team to be killing her very fast. It takes them about 5 to 15 minutes to kill her depending on the randomness of the damage, which I don't know how they do it. And what they're doing is they're selling one round for 15 million gold, and they're charging 25 million gold at the start and 25 million gold when it finishes. And people are buying this, which is crazy, right? I'm not at level 100 yet, but I heard it's really hard, and a lot of people really want to try it. So right now, it is very hard for most of the players for us to be providing this service. But if you have a good team of friends, and if right now you can do this, this is a jackpot. This is a niche market, a lot of people will be wanting this one. And this is one of the endgame method our viewer was able to make so much gold. And if you guys are interested, if you're capable, make sure you use this method and help other players. Now, of course, guys, I'm not saying you should be charging so much gold for players, right? Our friend and also my viewer over here, he is also doing those runs for free. Sometimes he does it for free, sometimes he does it for 10 million gold, sometimes for 20 million gold. It really depends how much gold he needed and how much gold his team needs. But this is a really good idea, right? So if you can do this, definitely consider this or the Nightmare Dungeons. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do have any tips, methods, and or tricks, do let us know in the comments below. And one of the best ways to reach out to me is by joining the Discord and sending me a direct message. This is how I was able to find those methods and also to share those with you guys. Because a lot of helpful viewers and also players from our community is willing to share and also willing to help others. So join me and also send me a message so we can share with everyone and play Diablo 4 to the best of extent. Now, in case you guys didn't know, I'll be live streaming on Twitch again, and I have just started. So make sure to come over to the links below to join us on Twitch live to say hi, maybe ask me questions or share any tips with the viewers. And while you're here, make sure you follow. And if you do have your Twitch Prime, this is a really good time to use your Twitch Prime over here, supporting us with Twitch Prime. And yes guys, join us as I test build for Diablo, and also join us as you play the game and also farm the game. So stay a while and also listen. We'll also be doing some giveaways and also special viewer events in the Diablo as well. Maybe we do PvP and also related events in the game as we get to the end game, and also help players to go through the dungeons.